The Mission Report is a presentation of Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting, brought to you by Homefront Cyber Support and Security. Tech support, security, and protection is their mission. Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting presents The Mission Report, where we talk about whatever the hell we want.
He was all naked and raring to go.
Well, as long as it's legal.
So, is anyone a fan of the Planet of the Apes series? Franchise series there? I'm sure you've all seen the movie Outbreak, right? Yeah. Welcome to episode 3 of the Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting Mission Report. It's brought to you by Homefront Cyber Support and Security, where tech support, security, and protection is their mission, and it's presented by Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting. What a week it's been! Good grief! We even have the possibility of some more snowstorm craziness coming our way, too. We're always part of those what-if scenarios in our neck of the woods, you know? Here in Central PA, so we never know how much we're going to get, and it's usually a flippin' mess, but we have another good one lined up for you right here on the Mission Report. We will be presenting our first segment in our garden series. Yeah, I got the shades on here, man. I'm ready for spring, ready to get out there, get in the sunshine, get some work in the ground, getting some seeds going. And it's our first seed starting episode for the 2022 growing season. And we also have a new segment to close the show with this time that we are calling the What in the Fresh Hell segment, because, yeah, what in the fresh hell is right? So let's get right into it with the first in our garden series. Welcome to the first garden series installment at Homefront Cybercast Mission Report. And a lot of people are probably scratching their heads going, there's snow on the ground. It is late January. It's 10 degrees outside. And this Yahoo, he's starting his 2022 growing season garden already. Well, yeah, actually, doing things a little different this year. Last year, I had trouble with the broccoli and the cauliflower and some of those other types of early spring crops that as soon as the heat came out, by June, everything started to bolt, and I got no broccoli, no cauliflower, just a bunch of leaves. So I decided to back my seed starting up a little bit, start things here in late January. And so I've already got some things started here. I've got some scallions, some leeks, got some celery going here, and some cabbage. I've got the Brussels sprouts in here. A couple different types of cabbage seeds in here. I've also got some broccoli, some cauliflower, and some collards in there. All of those crops seem to take a while to grow inside the seed trays, and then by the time I got them out in the greenhouse and then into the garden beds, they just bolted in the heat. So we're going to try to get these out a little bit earlier in the spring this year to see what's going on. Today, since we're almost at the end of January, today is January 22nd. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be planting some of those herbs that seem to take a long time to germinate, and then take a fairly long time to get to the point where they're ready to transplant into the garden. So that's pretty much, what we're talking about today. I do just want to also mention that some of these plants up here, look at this lettuce. This lettuce has been growing this winter. I mean, you could grow some veggies inside over the winter, so we're going to have some lettuce here for some salads coming up real soon. I've also got some mint. I've got some oregano in there, some chives, and then some sage growing there in the background that I do use in some cooking recipes that you'll probably see in the future in some of the Homefront Cybercast cooking series episodes. But let's go over some of the things that I'm going to be planting in the seed trays today, just to get an early start on the growing season. Probably going to be putting in some mustard, some different kinds of mustard. I've got some old-fashioned mustard. I've got Florida broadleaf mustard. And I've got Southern Giant curled mustard. So we're going to be starting those today. And I'm going to be starting my kale today because they can actually go out before the last frost of the year. So they can go in the garden beds or even in the hoop houses that I have outside, even before, you know, the real good temperatures of spring hit. I've got some red Russian kale. I've got some dwarf blue curled Scotch, some dwarf Siberian. Kale is always good. It's a very, very healthy vegetable. So those we're going to be putting in the seed trays today. And then I've got some more chives. I've got some common mint, broadleaf sage. Going to be doing a couple of different kinds of basil. I'm going to be doing the Italian large leaf in the trays, and then also some of the Genovese basil. And we've got the Italian oregano. And parsley seems to take forever to germinate, so we're going to start the parsley today. Now, some of these seeds I'll be growing specifically for an herb garden bed that I have in the backyard, and then some of the other crops will be in between some of the vegetable beds. Like I'll put some basil in the tomato bed on the outside of the tomato bed, and some of the parsley will be in there too. So it'll be kind of interspersed with some of the vegetables, which is kind of cool, because then, you know, you go out and pick some tomatoes and you think about basil in like sauce and stuff like that. So you have them all there together, which is a really cool thing to do. We'll be talking about planting different crops together as we get through the growing season and things like that. But anyway, some of the things that we've already done here before we get the seed starting mix into the seed starting tray. This is the seed starting tray that I'm going to be using. What I like to do with the seed starting mix is I like to heat up some water, maybe bring it almost to a boil, and then mix it with my seed starting mix. So if there's any yucky stuff in there, like any bacteria or any nasties or anything in there, it might kill it. And then we'll fill up the seed trays, and then we'll just drop a few seeds with some of the herbs like oregano and mint and some of those things. We'll drop, you know, a fair amount of seeds in each cell so that we've got more of a chance of germination. And once they get into like the transfer pots, like once we get them into pots like these, then they'll spread out a little bit more, so that when we get to the point where we're going to transplant them into the garden, we're going to have a fairly big clump like you see in the nurseries to get them out into the garden. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like to water from the bottom, so I'll put some water in the bottom of the tray. I will spray the top of it to get them started, and that's pretty much it. So I'll get rocking on getting the seeds starting. The tray's filled with the soil, and then we'll get the seeds going. Alright, so I have a seed tray filled, and now we're just going to, like I said, we're going to put several seeds in each seed starting cell that I have here. Get several seeds in each cell, and with some of the herbs we'll sprinkle a bunch in there, just so we make sure we have a decent germination rate, and then we're good to go. I also have some labels, so when we're done, you know, it's a good idea to label your trays so you know exactly what's in there. If you're planting a bunch of vegetables and herbs, you know, you're not going to know what's in there until they sprout and germinate, and even then sometimes you don't know what they are until they're actually, you know, fully mature. And so let's get going here. We're going to start with our kale, and this is the first time I'm actually growing the red Russian kale. So I'm really looking forward to this year. So like I said, you know, just get some seeds in the palm of your hand. You know, make a nice little indentation here in your seed cells. And then just drop a few seeds in each cell. And then cover them back up. When we're done planting everything, we'll come back over and we'll do a nice layer of the seed starting mix over the entire tray, so we're sure that we got everything covered. We'll repeat this process for all the rest of the vegetables. When we get to things like the oregano and the mint, we'll put some more seed in each cell so that we get a fairly good germination rate. So that's it. And then you just want to take some of your seed starting mix and just sprinkle what you got left over top of each of your cells. That way you're sure you got all the seedlings covered and all those seeds covered in there. After I get all the seeds in there, and then after I get all the seeds in there, and I do the final sprinkle of the seed starting mix over top of the seeds, I like to give them some water, give them a head start. And that's it. We got a seedling tray, so now we can just put this up here under the lights. Now, if you notice, I've got the lights pretty close to the soil level, and you want that because the sun is extremely strong. So when these seedlings pop up out of the soil, the closer the lights are, the stronger those seedlings are going to be, and the less likely you're going to have that they get really leggy. So close to the soil before they sprout. Once they sprout, and the closer they get to the light, then you can start to move the lights up. Now, for the lights, I've just got some fairly cheap LED shop lights, and they're 5000K, about 4800 to 5000 lumens, and that does a great job of growing seedlings. I grew the entire garden last year under those lights, so it's very, very good. If you're growing flowers or something, you might want an actual grow light, because they'll need the extra wavelengths of the light to actually get flowers and to bloom flowers if they do start to bloom inside. And as we get closer to the actual growing season and we do start some flowers, I'll be starting some marigolds and some nasturtiums. I do have some grow lights, and we'll go over that too. But for all intents and purposes, that's it. I am into the 2022 growing season. Something else that I like to get started in January, close to the beginning of February, is my seed potatoes. So I've got some potatoes chitting in here, and last year we had good results for some of these. So I've got a couple of different varieties of red potatoes and gold potatoes. So we've got them chitting too. So you know, January is not just for sitting around watching the snow fall and wishing it was spring. There's still some gardening work to do, and we're rocking here. So for the very first installment of the garden series of the Homefront Cybercast mission report, thanks for watching. If you've got any questions or anything, if you've got seed starting tips, just put them in the comments and let us all know. We can learn from each other. And until the next garden series installment, we'll see you soon. Oh yeah, it's going to be a good 2022 growing season. I can feel it. I can't wait to get out there, get the tiller going. And we got some new video equipment that we just got delivered. That we've got all kinds of good cameras to give you a bird's eye viewpoint. Well, I don't know about a bird's eye viewpoint, but you'll be able to follow along with us throughout the 2022 growing season, and you'll be able to grow your garden with us. Let's all grow our gardens together this year. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Send the kids to their rooms, or make them wear headphones, or go play video games, or whatever kids do these days, because it's time. It's time for the first What in the Fresh Hell segment on the Mission Report. And this one, yeah, seriously, what in the fresh hell is right? All right, let's set this up here. This past Saturday, while scrolling through Twitter, I scroll Twitter mostly. Rarely do I scroll Facebook anymore, since it became such a place where you have to be so afraid to get put in information jail if they don't like what you're posting. So I'm mostly scroll through Twitter. Twitter's a lot more fun to watch all the social media flame-throwing wars anyway. It's really amusing sometimes. But anyway, Saturday, as I was scrolling, let me get this up for you here. Saturday, as I was scrolling, this came up in my Twitter feed. All right. Now, at first, I thought this was rather amusing. All right. This is kind of funny to me. Truck crashes with 100 monkeys. I thought it was kind of funny. 100 monkeys running around somewhere in Pennsylvania. And I posted something on social media. It was something like, hey, if you see them, send them my way and I'll put them up for the night, because I thought they were being transported to a zoo or something. I don't want them in cages. I'll give them some freedom. Bring them to my place. We'll hang out together, have a few beers, and have some fun. No. Wrong. How wrong I was. Now, let me see if I can get the next one up here. This became the theme of the following articles, okay? As I was scrolling through Twitter and other social media platforms over the next few days. These were lab monkeys. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture is now looking into the crash, which happened just a little over an hour away from here, just a little over an hour away from where Homefront Cyber is. And so after, seeing that, my first thought really was, what in the fresh hell? I mean, wasn't COVID enough for these people? I mean, seriously, what else do we got to deal with? Now, one of the articles stated that the CDC instructed PA State Police to euthanize 3 of the monkeys for public safety reasons. All right. Then it's reported that gunfire was used to do that, so they killed them. Why couldn't they have just used darts to knock them out or some shit like that, All right, if these monkeys are a public safety hazard, for whatever reason, they're not explaining that at this point in time. What? Do these bullets, hit their target and not spread or splash blood all over the place? Why couldn't they have used tranquilizer darts? Why couldn't they have used... Call the game commission. Bring some tranquilizer darts in. They do it to tag bear all the time. I mean... But wait, excuse me. It gets better, all right? Now, this is a quote from one of the articles. The joint public health decision by CDC, Pennsylvania State Police, and the Pennsylvania Department of Health to humanely euthanize 3 monkeys was based on a public health assessment. This assessment considered that I'm not even sure if I'm saying this correctly, the cynomolgus macaques, whatever the hell that is, whatever the name of the monkeys are, can transmit a number of deadly viruses to humans, all right? The decision to humanely euthanize was made to protect the safety of both the public and the first responders, said the CDC in a statement. And that's a quote from one of the articles. Okay, again, were these bullets the kind that don't have any kind of blood splatter when shot from a rifle or a handgun? Hey, that's a logical question. If they could be capable of transmitting deadly viruses, right? Don't you think somebody needs to know, what's going to happen after we shoot these things with a bullet? I don't know. Hey, that's just me. Maybe. All right. Now, PETA has now gotten involved, and they have since filed a complaint with the USDA because they disagree with their definition of humanely euthanized. And I agree with that. It's a bullet. You just shot these monkeys with a bullet. Why couldn't you just tranquilize them and then do it another way? But I also think it's ridiculous that these monkeys were transported in boxes, like the boxes that shattered all over the road in the photographs. If you see any of the photographs, you'll see the boxes are all over the road. At least 3 of them shattered, and that's how 3 of the monkeys were able to escape their imprisonment, in these boxes. And I often wonder, how would those who order such treatment how would they like to be shoved and transported across state lines in a box like that? I mean, I wonder if they'd like that. But no, we're not done yet. It gets even better than that. The next headline, which I think I got that one here. Woman falls ill after exposure to monkeys at Pennsylvania crash site. What? What in the fresh hell did I just read? All right. Apparently, this woman stopped to help clear the road, and one of the articles even actually says that she was told that they were cats. Okay. That's what she claims. But anyway, she apparently stopped to help them get the crates and all the mess off the road when she walked through feces and urine. And then, after interviews with the state police and members of the CDC who were supposedly there, she was recommended to go see a doctor and was then prescribed a rabies vaccine and a round of antiviral medication. Yeah. And then, we're still not done. This is an evolving story. And then the fallout begins. And this is, I love this. Anytime something serious happens, when people begin to question authority in this day and age, or question any government organization. Let's see if I have this one up here. Yeah. PA monkey truck crash spawns conspiracy theories after woman at scene falls ill. Can someone explain this to me? I mean, seriously. I'm not making a joke, and I don't mean to be, mean about this, but can someone explain to me why the conspiracy theory accusation is always used anytime someone questions those in government agencies? We are seriously living in an age where asking questions makes you a conspiracy theorist. And that in itself is extremely messed up. I mean, who wouldn't have questions about an incident like this, especially if they're not satisfied with the answers given? I mean, the CDC is not saying, they're saying that they were a hazard to public health. One of the articles, I believe, even goes on to say that they could be carrying viruses. What virus? Are we not supposed to be concerned about this? Where were they going? Oh, that's right. It's an undisclosed location. They cannot reveal the location. All right? Okay. So let's put this into perspective. These monkeys came from an area in Africa, which is actually part of one of the articles, that is known for Marburg disease, Ebola, and monkeypox. All extremely deadly to humans. And we're not supposed to ask questions about this. If we do, we're a conspiracy theorist. I've got to be honest with you. I've been all over social media, and I have yet to see, there have been some way out there kind of remarks made, but nothing that I would call, flaming a conspiracy theory or throwing a conspiracy theory out there into the public. How can you do that when you have no information to even paint a conspiracy theory? So we're not supposed to ask questions about this. What in the fresh hell is that all about? That's what I'd like to know. Now, yeah, okay, we're not done yet because it's just been a crazy week. Okay, so hot on the heels of that shit show, this one comes down the media slope. Let's get up here. PA woman rescues a mysterious animal from the winter cold. Wildlife experts have yet to identify. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and there it is. It kind of looks like a coyote to me, but that article, after everything that's happened in Danville with the crash and the 100 monkeys and the 3 that have been loose, I mean, what in the fresh hell is next? What a week! And that's it for this one. I definitely think that's enough for this one. The Homefront Cybercast Mission Report is brought to you by Homefront Cyber Support and Security. Contact them for all of your computer tech support needs at support@homefrontcyber.com. The Mission Report is a presentation of Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting, and we can be reached at cybercast@homefrontcyber.com if you'd like to get in touch with us for sponsoring the Mission Report, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show just to talk about your organization, event, or whatever. You can join the craziness. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow the Mission Report, Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting, and yeah. Hey, we just got some new cameras for future episodes. So that's something to look forward to coming up. And we still got that venison stew episode, which is going to be coming up the next episode of the Mission Report. And who knows what else we're going to be talking about. But this one is in the bag, baby. Keep yourself healthy. Always keep rocking. And remember, if it ain't fun, it ain't worth doing. We'll see you next time.
This is your captain speaking. We've been cleared for departure.
Mission complete.
The Mission Report is a presentation of Homefront Cybercast Broadcasting, brought to you by Homefront Cyber Support and Security. Tech support, security, and protection is their mission.